What's up everyone, welcome back, or rather I am back. I took a little break from YouTube to take care of some other things and to rearrange my entire computer room. Got rid of all the old furniture, put in all new stuff. So I have a whole new setup in a different part of the room now, and I do apologize for it is a little echoey where I am now. But that will get taken care of soon enough, please bear with me. So like I mentioned in my last video, I have just been kicking back, doing my own thing, enjoying getting a feel for the game in my own zone, and it has been a lot of fun. I have done many different characters at this point and enjoyed playing each one of them. Of course, some stuck out above the rest, but that's really only because of broken mechanics at this point. I'll get into that more a little bit later and into the reason why I haven't released any build guides yet. I did have a couple of build videos ready to go 2 weeks ago, but because of the current state of the game, I decided to just scrap them for now, but more on that later. The Veteran +4 sweet spot is what I call my personal most efficient grinding place. I am running the Veteran +4 mission given to you by Alexander Ivakin, and I just run it over and over again. All of the clips you are about to see in this video were recorded in one night over the span of just a few hours, and include loot from both inside the dungeon and from what is given to you as a reward for completing all 6 levels of the expedition. So for those of you who do not know yet, if you start one of Ivakin's missions, and you just continue going through the red portals after killing the bosses, after 6 levels you will finally only be given the portal back to town. At that point you go back to town, you talk to Ivakin again, and he will reward you with 2 guaranteed unique items. You have to choose the second one over the other rewards that he options you with, so I figured since there are 6 levels in an entire expedition, I would just run Veteran +4 6 times and see what happens. Now you could potentially find a hell of a lot more loot than I did in this video if you actually clear the entire map. I was just darting straight for the bosses every run because teleport is addicting. I have seen people say that you can just run the Adept expedition as well, but for me personally, anytime I run Adept, I only find low-level items with lower stats. I have the same problem in Veteran 1 and 2. I noticed that I don't find anything in Veteran 3, I find a ton of crap in Veteran 4, and Veteran 5 or higher just feels like too much of a fight for too little of a reward. After grinding the higher level Veteran expeditions, considering how much longer they take to do solo and comparing the stats on the gear I find there, I have come to the conclusion that mid-tier grinding is probably the best way to go right now, especially if you are playing solo. You can complete the dungeons much faster in mid-tier, you might not have to worry about dying as much, and the gear that drops can be just as good as anything else from what I have seen. This is just my own personal opinion after playing the game for many hours, but I have also seen quite a few other people talking about this same thing in Discord who all agree that mid-tier Veteran expeditions is where it's at. Now I also understand that everyone's luck is different. The gear drops are based on RNG, and not everyone out there is going to have the same exact luck in Veteran 4. What I am saying is to try them out for yourself, run Veteran 3, 4, 5, and maybe even 6, see which one is the easiest to clear while dropping the most loot. Once you find your sweet spot, so to speak, one that doesn't take too long to complete and is dropping legendaries and or uniques, stick with that one, run it over and over all the way through if you can make it to the end without the portals glitching out, so that you also get the 2 guaranteed uniques for completing the entire expedition. I got the unique shoulders I am wearing and a unique chest piece so far as rewards from Ivakin for completing the expeditions, so despite the average gear you see in this video, it is definitely worth it to push through all 6 levels of the mission. So like I said, this video is clipped from just a few hours of gameplay, and in the end I almost filled up my entire inventory with legendaries, and uniques. And that is it, my friends. Just find your sweet spot and then grind away. Kick back for a while and just enjoy your build. I don't know, I personally loved playing this guy, a melee spellcaster hybrid, harnessing the damage of a melee character while being able to utilize spells such as Bulwark of Dawn, which heals me over time and adds damage to my attacks, a Frost Nova type of spell for that freezing AoE crowd control, and of course teleport to quickly navigate the entire map and find those bosses, which brings me to why I haven't done any build guides yet. Like I said, I have done quite a few characters at this point, and some of them are pretty strong. This guy, for example, easily, and I mean easily, got to Veteran 7 before I started a new mage that I just kind of fell in love with, so I have just been playing that ever since. But as much fun as they are, the fact of the matter is they are all broken. Wolcen still has a lot of work to do to iron out their game right now, and everything that is strong at the moment is like based on broken mechanics or skill tree nodes. The bosses have such high amounts of health points that it seems like at this point, either you're playing in a group or using a broken skill tree node to more than double your damage is the only way to go, or just use Mark of Impurity because its corpse explosion thing is so overpowered right now, and or throw on Bleeding Edge with an Arbiter Ring because it does a ridiculous amount of damage. These are things that Wolcen is aware of, and with any luck, next month's content update will also include a bunch of fixes, and hopefully the Retaliator node on the skill tree, Mark of Impurity, Bleeding Edge, and health points on the elites all get a much needed nerf. Or maybe everything else in the game just needs to be increased? I don't know, but some balancing is definitely in order. So bearing in mind that these things are broken at the moment and that they will most likely be fixed in the near future just made it seem like a bit of a waste of time to do any videos with them. That, and I was getting ready to tear down the entire room and knew that I would be offline for a few days at least. It just didn't seem all that important at that very moment. However, since being back online, I am still noticing people checking in Discord every day for new builds, talking about how they are still playing, grinding away, and enjoying the game. So now that my new desk is in and my setup is starting to feel pretty comfortable again, it is time to get back to making videos. The next patch isn't planned until the end of May, so at this point, we still have a little over a month to play the game in its current state. That being said, Wolcen may still decide to push out a surprise hotfix at any point in time that fixes one or more of these issues and causing certain builds or all of them to become obsolete or even unplayable with the current balancing. So I guess we'll just have to keep a close eye on that, and I will start making build and gameplay videos. I have a lot of grinding to do now that I just recently lost 6 of my best pieces of gear to that sneaky ass stash bug. I have had my account's stash filled with legendaries, uniques, interacts, and gems ever since the beta started and I got all 3 tabs unlocked, and I have never once had any problems. After having created at least 15 different characters and moving my best armor pieces back and forth to whichever I was playing, finally, just the other night, I put 6 of those best pieces into the stash, switched over to a different character, and when I logged back in, those 6 pieces were ganja. Vanished. Gone. But every damn thing else, all the junk red and purples that I had been hoarding, were all still there. Ugh. The stats on all that crap is pretty much irrelevant for my builds, so it's back to grinding for good gear again, which, depending on how you look at it, isn't entirely a bad thing. It caused me to start playing the new mage more and gaining a new appreciation for that particular build's playstyle, and has also given me the impulse to finally try out a couple of new ideas I have that could be fun. All in all, despite the bugs and the balancing, I know that it is just the start of the beta, that these issues will be addressed in time, and honestly, I am enjoying the gameplay very much. If you have not seen it yet, Wolcen released an introduction to the game's story. This was during my time off and about a week ago now, but it is an article that previews some of the upcoming story elements that will be in the game. Nothing that spoils the actual storyline of the campaign, but rather more context, information that your character will already have at the start of the game. A little bit about the magic of the world and how you were raised in a faction that is against the use of magic. Meet some of your closest allies and learn about how you were drafted into the Republic's army of the Purifiers. I thought it was a pretty good read, and I definitely recommend you check it out if you haven't already and are interested by that sort of thing. A link for that page can be found in the description of this video. Alright everyone, we dragged this one on for as long as we could, but if you managed to stick around for this long, then why not smash those buttons? You know the ones I'm talking about. Don't forget to ding that bell if you would like to be notified when new videos drop. Stick around for more Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, and hopefully I will catch you all again next time.